Welcome back, friends, to the Polish Podcast. We hope you're enjoying the conversation we're having with today's guest, Erica Dvorak. But now, it's time to add a dash of spontaneity and a sprinkle of fun to the show. It's time for Ask Me Anything! This is a chance for us to peel back the layers and get to know the woman behind the work, the quirks behind the expertise, with questions curated by me and you. So let's follow our curiosity to know more about Erica. Erica, the first question I have for you is, this is Women's History Month. We're in full swing of it here in March, and I'd love to hear about a remarkable woman that's either in your life or from history or from someone you admire from afar that's just been a huge influence or inspiration for you in the work that you do.
That is such a easy question for me, and tears me up that God's been so good just with my life, and I've changed so much over the years, and God's blessed me with a best friend who has done the same, and she's been by my side through it all. And it's amazing how we were both raised in Christian homes, but had both fallen away and come back. And now she is my strongest Christian friend, and just how beautiful God has used both of us, and how he's just stamped him on our hearts, and how we can just have relationship with one another in every area of our lives as we've gotten older. And she's an inspiration to me because I've seen her life over the years, over the decades. We've been friends for decades. And just how resilient she is, actually I did lunch with her yesterday, and she just has this positive outlook on life. She's giddy, she's joyful, and she's had a lot of things in her life where she wouldn't have to be that way. But she always chooses the higher road. And what I hear from her all the time is, you can't choose your circumstances, but you can choose your attitude. And so and that's something she learned from her dad and her mom too, which are just like second parents to me. I love them, but you have the choice to choose your attitude. And I say that to my son too. And it resonates. Like I said earlier, a lot of the battle I've had is because of my issues, my attitude, me wanting to like feel my feels very deep and keep feeling my feels. And it's like, okay, there's a time and place for that. But then you pick yourself up and you choose to have joy. You choose to believe that God is good. You choose to put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. And my best friend, Nicole, is that. She's just continued day after day after day to dig in and help me realize that life is hard. You know, life is much harder than we thought it was going to be, but there's so much joy within those days, and to grab hold of that joy within the hardship and just like hold on to that as much as you can, and that your attitude matters above, everything else that actually happens to you. And she lives that out in her faith. I mean, she just grabs so tightly to that and really proclaims the name of the Lord. And so it tears me up that God was so good. I just laughed when you had asked that question, because it's like, well, yeah, it's my best friend. It's not somebody she's like right there. I can grab her and hug her. And what a blessing that is, that he's given me that.
That is awesome. I love that. What a testament to friendship, and just what a gift that can be when you have that connection, that deep connection with someone. That's so cool.
Yeah. Erica. And I think that speaks to collaboration in our topic. Like, we have been collaborators like our whole life, just as friends, and helping each other through all the different facets of life, and good times and bad times, and helping each other with advice and prayer and unity, like all of that. Like that's collaboration. That's the heart of God, really living life together and supporting one another. And so, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Erica, yes, thank you for sharing that with us. It's such an inspiration, I think, for all of us to seek out those relationships and those friendships that encourage us, embolden us, and remind us who we are and whose we are as well. That's awesome. And my second question for you is, we've been talking about collaboration. We've been talking about chasing radical God-sized dreams. I know you're pursuing this Christian entrepreneurship group. You've got Faith and Gather. What other dreams are you dreaming about? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So I have one big one, and I'm not afraid to share it. I actually met with somebody the other day, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll keep this tight because somebody might steal the idea. And I'm like, if they do, more the merrier. Like,
okay, great. I love that.
This is something that can be done in the Twin Cities where I live. It can be done, in Cleveland, Ohio. It can be done everywhere. But God did put on my heart. I was doing Pastor Mark Batterson's Draw the Circle 40-day devotional, which was it's just like amazing. I haven't read the book, but the devotional was fabulous. You get on your knees for 40 days and pray, and God gave me this God-sized dream. They talk about in there that their cafe they jokingly called the Dream Factory, and God downloaded me like, no, I really want you to create a dream factory. And I'm like, what? And I just started writing it out, and there was one night while I was doing the 40 days that I was laying in bed, and I saw one side of it is a cafe, and then the other side is a co-working space. And I saw on the wall in neon, dream dreams, and then another one, visions of the future. So in a neon sign. And I was just so excited, and I was picturing it all in my head. And then the next morning I woke up, and my devotional was that Bible verse. And I was like, okay, Lord, noted. Like, this is a God dream.
For real.
And it is I have no idea about commercial real estate or, anything like that's the only thing I know how to do is like the collaborations and some marketing. I can be a part of that piece, but it's so much bigger than me. So much bigger than me. But he has clearly told me that I want you to open up a space for Christian entrepreneurs, and everybody would be welcome, but it would be a Christian company where they're them to come and do business together, and really like my idea for the Christian Women Entrepreneur Group to do it in person with people and have like worship nights and just really cool things that go podcast studios, just like all this kind of fun stuff for people to dream big God-sized dreams. And on the other side, have a cafe. We have a big restaurateur here in the Twin Cities who's also a Christian that goes to my church. And I'm like, Lord, praying him in that he would be a part of like that cafe. So I actually know him, but he's got a lot on his plate, but I'm like praying in for that to happen. And
sure.
So the other day I was meeting with a commercial real estate agent just to get like information on like, I don't know anything. And she was talking through all these different loans and like all of that. And we're not even close to like getting the thing really started, but I think the important thing to do is when you get a God-sized dream is to keep moving forward with it. Even if you're not scared, you don't know anything about it, like just start asking questions, start meeting people, start telling people like I am on this podcast about my dream, because somebody may be listening and like, oh girl, I got you. I know this person and this person and this person. So just like start getting it out there in the world and start taking meetings that make no sense to take meetings. Like I told, she was already like, okay, well, let's look for XYZ buildings and like, what's your budget? And I was like, oh, this is very much a dream still. Like very much like mama don't have much in her bank right now. Like it's very much a dream, but I know God will bring it. And so that is what's on the horizon. I don't know the timing of that for Faith and Gather, and there'll be collaboration with that. God spoke to me that this is not a Faith and Gather thing. This is a city-wide thing that is going to make a huge difference within our community. And I'm just one of the players who he's given the dream to that will, be somebody who will take charge and make sure that it gets done. So that is one of them. There's many other fun little things like marketing-wise that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that, and just hoping that the Lord gives resources.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's so exciting. I can't wait to see and watch and how God moves. Like, I'm excited for you and just like whatever that next step is. But I know, like, based on what we've talked about today, like you have the confidence in him, you will be obedient, and you will do the next right thing. I think that's so cool. Like, I can't wait to see what happens. You'll have to keep us posted, and maybe I'll make a road trip up. We could have a Dream Factory visit. That'd be awesome.
Yes, I would love that. I'd love that. Do a podcast there.
That would be awesome. A live? Yes. Ooh, I'm making a note for later. Erica, thank you so much for sharing more with us. But here's the thing, friends. We want you to be a part of the conversation. We know you have burning questions. We know you have curious musings. We know you have wild wonderings about our guests. So, if there's something you've just always wanted to ask, Now is your chance. All you have to do is go to our website, polishnetwork.org, and submit your questions there.